Oh, how fortuitous is what I want to say going into this episode. Feeling kind of smug about it. But if you missed the previous episode, I kind of lost my crap on the decisions being made in the game and how I feel like my own choices that I was making in the game were being taken away from me, such as either saving Minrathos or saving Treviso, which, by the way, is like the only major choice that you actually make in the game, right? And then on top of that, the whole Varric choice is just stupid. That's cool looking, though. Art, killing it. Good job, art team. But yeah, the whole Varric thing pisses me off. I'm so agitated by that. Honestly, in hindsight, I think that was the thing that broke the camel's back. Let's just call it as it is. I was already teetering at that point. I've defended this game so staunchly, so much this entire playthrough, even though I've been critical of it at the same time. I have defended it, and that was just it. That was the last thing that I could have possibly had done to make any kind of defense, and then they just throw that in, and it ruined the game for me. It essentially ruined the entire game for me, which is a big problem. Had a couple comments that are fantastic of people coming out being like, "Hey, I agree with you. Can't believe it took you this long." Like all this, I get it. But thank you for your comments. I appreciate it. Let's get a good look at this little sun thing, this eclipse thingy thing. It's so cool looking. Yeah, here's the deal though. The day after I published that video, or actually I guess it was the evening of, maybe, Jason Schreier, now from Bloomberg, posted an expose article on what went wrong with Dragon Age Veilguard. It is very long, and I highly recommend reading it. It's freaking fantastic, as Jason Schreier's reportings are generally well done. If you don't know who Jason is, he used to work for Kotaku, and now he works for Bloomberg, but he is an amazing journalist for games journalism. He was the one who broke a lot of the information about the sexual harassment and poor work conditions at Blizzard and Activision. He's also released several books since then. I read Play Nice. It was amazing. I recommend that book wholeheartedly. Very, very good. It goes through the whole history of Blizzard and, how they kind of got to where they are now. Well, he went and did a whole article on Veilguard, and it starts off in a way that just gives you an idea of how they just kept tripping over themselves. And the main thing here that I like to take away from it is that Mike Laidlaw, I wouldn't call him divisive, but some people either really like him or really don't, depending on where you fall on, what are your favorite Dragon Age things from BioWare. But he was a huge, a figure in the development of the series. And when it was announced that they were going to do Veilguard, they were going to do the next Dragon Age, it was also, this is internally, not like to the public, it was also decided that it was going to be a multiplayer game, a live service game. And Mike Laidlaw made that announcement, and also at the same time announced his retirement, his what's the word I'm looking for? He was leaving the company. that was his, like, I can't fight against this because EA does not want me to fight against this. They've made their decision, but I cannot support this, and so he took off. And that makes a lot of sense in hindsight, looking back. But honestly, that is just the first of so many choices that were made, and we've discussed how the game went from being multiplayer to single player back to multiplayer, and it's just like it did this like weird thing where they kept changing, and they kept having weird deadlines for the game, and it just kept making worse and worse decisions on it, and what we got is what we got. And that article really gives insight into all of it. So with that said, I'm officially, even before finishing the game, putting Veilguard at the bottom of my Dragon Age list. I think it goes Origins, Inquisition, Dragon Age 2, Dragon Age Veilguard. And that just is way down there. Like, another Dragon Age could come out, and Veilguard's still going to be at the bottom. Anyways, go read that article. It's on Bloomberg, which it requires a subscription to read, but there are ways to find it. I used the subscription to read it, so yeah, you can figure it out on your own, I'm sure. Let's give a final chat to the team. That'll be the end of this episode. The final episode will be the next episode where we actually just go finish the game.
I keep asking myself, what if I'd been faster on Tearstone Island? I should have pushed myself harder. Would Harding still be around?
You can't know that. None of us can.
She's a hero. Without her, Lucanus would never have gotten his shot at Gillenane. And Nev, if she hadn't taken down those wards, we would have run out of time.
We'll get her back. Whatever we do.
Damn right we will.
Cool. I actually had an idea of like how they could bring Dragon Age back. Well, I don't think there's going to be a Dragon Age game for a while. They're working on the next Mass Effect, and let's hope that's good. I have zero expectations on it now, especially after reading that article. But the thing is, when it comes to the next Dragon Age game, I had a freaking amazing idea that has to do with the mirrors. And I don't know how it would work because I've not gotten to the end of Veilguard yet, so I don't know how they're going to wrap it up. But it'd be a way to retcon everything that's happened and kind of take it back. And I think that would be really, really good. Because, like, here's the big problem about Veilguard. They just made everything way too grand. Like, the Inquisition and everything that happened in Inquisition did make it more of a global thing that was going on. With Corypheus coming in and trying to open up the Fade rifts and everything. There was a lot going on there, but you went to so many different areas and you were trying to gather all of these allies to basically get towards the end of the game. And it was really well done because it didn't feel like it was getting too big for itself. Whereas Veilguard is just like, you're fighting gods now. That's what you're doing. You're fighting gods, and it's not too big. I mean, you go all over the freaking place here in this region, but it's just everything is too grand, and at the same time, not grand enough. You know, it's like it contradicts itself, and yeah, you would expect like a lot more people to be fighting against the gods with everything going on, and yet it kind of feels like we're the only ones in the battle, right? So it's too big of an issue for any one thing to handle. If it was the Inquisition and you were going back in with that, I think it would feel a lot more grand and awesome. But because it's just this tiny little team that you got and you haven't really pulled all these major allies together, it doesn't feel as grand as it needs to. So it's a weird contradiction. But yeah, I have an idea. I'll talk about it after talking to Lucanus.
Doing this without Nev.
I'm sorry, Lucanus. I know how important she was to you.
She restored much of my faith in people. I wanted to give her the world she deserved. These gods have taken too much, Rook. No more. We want them dead.
She was taken. She might still...
False hope could kill me, Rook.
Yeah, I have like this idea of like, what if someone... It would be provoked by not the main character. It would be someone like Mythal, for example, stood up and was like, no, things got on the wrong course. And so I'm going to use my epic powers because I'm Mythal or, something like that. So it'd be Morrigan, to empower this mirror. And so maybe it's at the lighthouse here. Maybe it's somewhere else in the world. But they empower the mirror and makes it so powerful that you go back in time. And that's like the easiest way to do a retcon and the most cheesiest way to do a retcon. But it's like we have to go back because of this particular moment. But I think it would probably be something that happened in 2 or even in Inquisition. Maybe in 2 of being like, this one character, oh, you know what it could be? It could be the Anders moment. Like Anders doing his thing in Dragon Age 2. that set everything on a crash course that meant the end of the world is coming, right? And you have to go back to stop that, which gives you an opportunity as the main character. I don't know what your main character is doing in this situation, but to meet these characters, to meet Hawk, to meet the Inquisitor and stuff. And before like the Inquisitor becomes the Inquisitor, and you set the Inquisitor on their path to be at the mountain when the Chantry blows up and everything, like having all of this stuff kind of lead into a butterfly effect of not trying to change too much, but also trying to change a lot. And the result is you get to the end where you're able to teleport back into the future, or maybe you go back and forth. I don't know, but you go back and everything has changed. And like what happened with Gillenane and all of that, they were never released, and Solus was never set on the path that he was supposed to. Like he was awoken by Mythal to what ended up happening, or something like something like that, where you can retcon everything and start afresh from a much smaller angle and go back into the roots of what Dragon Age is. That's my idea for a next game. It's very rough. I came up with it last night off the top of my head while I was talking to my wife about my issues with the game, and she seemed to like the idea, so maybe, I don't know. Let me know. Is that a good idea? What do you think? Is it too cheesy? Because like time travel stuff is like way too cheesy. But if you're dealing with the mirrors, you go into different like realities where maybe you see like Kirkwall fall to a bunch of demons, or maybe you see like all these different realities that you've gone through with time. That'd be cool. That'd be really, really cool.
She saved us. Saved me. She was so small and so strong.
I'm sorry, Tosh.
Just like my mother. I knew it was a mistake. Everyone I love dies. But what you said was right. She'd want us to finish the job. So just say the word. I'll burn down anything in our way.
Yeah, I do kind of feel like maybe people would be burnt out on the whole time travel thing. Or the multiple realities thing. That's been in a lot of like superhero stuff lately too. So no, maybe it's too much. We also have a lot less companions to talk to because apparently some died. Like I want to talk to Harding. Harding ain't here. I don't feel like Harding should have died. So that's another thing we can retcon.
Tosh and I have taken over tending the plants in Harding's room. Truth be told, I'm not sure she remembered to water them very often. But they bloomed for her all the same.
She saved my life. All our lives.
All of Thedas owes Lace Harding a debt she would never have even considered.
We'll do her proud, Minrathous.
And against Elganon.
Can I talk to him again?
Emric, how are things in Navarra?
Outbreaks of malicious spirits, panic at the eclipse. The Watchers are helping keep order. Fortunately, we're not as vulnerable to Darkspawn as some other kingdoms.
Why not?
Oh, it's impossible to blight the dead. But with time, even Navarra may be overrun.
When Gillenane died, it was like the Fade spilled into the real world for a moment.
I'm gonna have to go talk to the others
Small
again.
taste of what Solus would have done if you hadn't stopped him from tearing down the Veil back when this started.
It was a team effort. Me, Harding, Nev, and Varric.
We ask you to plunge back into battle without a proper chance to mourn. I wish I'd known Master Tethras. That you had such kind memories of him speaks of a gentle heart. I'm relieved beyond measure that we took the time to visit Blackthorn Manor, Rook. Given Johanna's partnership with the Venatori, I'm sure they would have eagerly employed her bone construct had we not stopped her. Onwards, my friend. I'll be ready, whatever awaits us.
Okay, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to go talk to the others. And I just noticed, like, with all of this weird stuff floating out there and everything, you could have an opportunity to do a thing where maybe the whole time travel stuff is just the first act. You're just trying to set things on a better course for fixing the future. And then by doing that, like Act 2 is you think that everything has set correctly, but as it turns out, when you go back, you've actually broken time and space, and the Fade is moving through the actual like normal reality, And so you get cool, like, surrealist scenes of, like, things floating and being upside down and being in cities, and, like, you're talking to someone, like, that's up on a staircase that's upside down, or you're both, like, you know, like, really weird surrealist paintings, kind of, that just don't make any sense when you look at them. I think that would be really, really cool to do something like that. And then the Act 2 is trying to fix it, and then Act 3 is you confronting the big bad evil person, whoever that may be.
The Antam and Ravain have gone berserk. They're killing anything that moves. Be a lot worse if the Dragon King were leading them. The lords have kept them away from cities and towns so far. You saved a lot of lives when you helped me put him down. Elgar'nan lost it after you disappeared. He raged about us killing Gillenane. Brought down a huge pillar of fire on the island. We barely got away in time. A lot of Antam didn't. It burned so bright that we all saw purple for hours. Turned the whole island to glass. Let me know when it's time. I'm ready.
Cool. Yeah, and like, you fixing the future could be something like, you know, you're making it so that way you can rally important characters that may have died, or make it so that way, you know, these important linchpin characters of the universe, like the Warden, like Hawk, like Varric, and Cassandra, and the Inquisitor, and you bring them together in, like, an epic kind of, like, major organizational thing, kind of like what you do in Inquisition. You're trying to unite the world against some evil darkspawn thing. I don't know.
I sent my own messages to the Wardens before you came back. Haven't heard from them.
Hope they're all right.
We left Lavendel a better place than when we found it. Evka and Antoine are leading the other Wardens now. If they get your call, they'll be ready. We're about to face down the last remaining archdemon and one of our old elven gods. Wonder what my old Dalish clan would think if they could see me now.
No reason you can't visit them after this is over?
Yeah, I could. And I'd definitely bring Hassan. Hassan missed you while you were gone.
Did he?
I kept finding him prowling around your room, or sleeping on your couch. At first I thought it was leftover food, but nope. He was trying to figure out where you'd gone.
Well, I'm here now, boy.
Ready to go whenever you are.
There's a couple more. Gotta do Lucanus and gotta do Bellara. Yeah, I feel like here's the thing with story aspects in game design. It often changes as you go as well. So, like, even this idea, it would take some crazy turns as people came up with better ideas, or cooler ways to create tension and release that tension and whatnot, and you know, characters that arise of, we've created this new character for the story and they're really cool, and as it turns out, they're way cooler than we initially thought they would be, and we want to make them a more pivotal part. And like that kind of stuff changes all the time during game development, during writing even. And I feel like I like my idea, but I'm really curious how I could shift it into like a more solidified, hey, this is what I think the next Dragon Age should be. Actually, I may end up making a video on that after this. Like, this is the horror that we got in Veilguard. How would I fix it?
Despite the cost, Gillenane is dead. We should still count it a victory.
I knew you wouldn't miss twice. Are you okay?
I'm well, though that was no ordinary death blow. I assure you that striking down a god is not something any killer can mistake. That is worth remembering, given we still have 2 gods to destroy. Now comes the fight for those we can still save. The crows have been busy in Treviso. The blight was bad enough, but making sure we cleaned up all the governor's comic. Mierda. We should rebuild the city with a new monument, Evenchi's Folly, 10 stories high. If we must live in the shadow of their mistakes, it should at least be decorative. When you are ready to end this, Spite and I will be at your side. When you are ready to...
Okay. Figured that was his last thing, but I wasn't too sure. It was a little inconclusive, you know? All right, let's go chat with Bellara, right? She'd be the last one. Yep. So we'll chat with Bellara. She's meeting me in my room. Wink. You know, we haven't seen any like nudity in this game yet, which I'm actually a little surprised by, given the, you know, what we got with Inquisition. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm okay if it doesn't have it. It doesn't need it. What would be the point of it?
Come in.
Notice how this is the only actual scene we're getting, though.
Okay. Well, I don't know what to say. That's new for me. I mean, there's the obvious stuff. Like, I'm glad you're back here.
Me too.
Right. Of course you are. So, with all that, I hope I didn't show up in that Fade prison. The one that showed your regrets, because it feels like it might make things awkward.
Don't worry.
I have nothing to regret about you. Us.
Okay. I was worried, but I shouldn't have been. So, now that you're back, I was thinking...
What's in the book?
This is hard. Finding the words, I mean.
You can do this.
They told me that we'd find you. Tosh, Emmerich, everyone. They told me to believe, keep the faith. But after what happened with my brother, my head wanted to believe. My heart, sometimes it doesn't want me to be happy. I still didn't give up. I couldn't. And now here you are in front of me.
Because of you.
I knew you'd never quit on me. I sure wasn't going to quit on you. What's wrong?
Nothing. I just can't believe it. Still. After everything that's happened, that could happen, Elgernon's taken Minrathous. The world could end tomorrow. You know what, though? That doesn't matter. Not right now. I want to live in this moment as long as I can.
Aw, we've earned this.
After what we went through, I'd say we deserve a little joy.
Malalath Athim Mir Uthinira.
Oh my. Totally happy with that. We don't need anything more. It's just...
It's calm. I like it. Not something I'm used to, being calm. It's nice. Different, but nice.
It feels right.
It feels like everything is just kind of working right now. It's enough to forget what's coming next. For a little while, at least.
I can live with that. It's a moment for just us. Hey, Rook. I, have something I want to say.
What's up?
You know what? Never mind. It's not important.
Say whatever's on your mind.
Some things are hard to say. Really, really hard. If I say the words, those 3 words, what if I have to unsay them later? No, this is important. I need to say it. I'm going to say it.
Should I say I'm bad at saying it too? Yeah.
You mean a lot to me too, Bellara. But those words? Yeah, I'm not great at saying them either.
I want to say it. It's important you hear me say it. I thought I lost you, Rook. I thought I'd lost part of myself too. Days went by, weeks, no word from you. Then we saw you, pulled you out, and I love you, Rook. More than I knew I could. Whatever happens next, I need you to know that.
I love you too, Bellara.
Thank you, Rook.
For saying I love you?
For everything. All you've done for us, for me. We should get up soon. But later works too. Much, much later.
I think that was a good little scene with them. I kind of wish that the final conversations with everybody would have had, you know, like an animated scene for everybody, but I think that was probably thrown in last minute. You know, it's hard to compare, but Mass Effect 2 and even Mass Effect 3, which again, we've recently played on the channel. All of them. So if you want to see that, they're fresh. You can go watch the whole Legendary edition. They do the ending goodbyes so well that that's what sticks out to me anytime I think of like oh, we've reached the point of no return and now it's time to say our goodbyes to characters. I immediately think of Mass Effect 2 and 3. Whereas this, it's not it. It just doesn't have the same feeling. But they didn't have the time.
Nev meant so much to me, you know? She was my big sister. Not the kind you fight with, but the kind you want to be like. The kind I tried to be to Syrian. But she's gone. Taken by my gods. I thought I'd lost you too. Both my anchors gone at once.
I'm back now. And I'm not going anywhere.
And we've got a job to do. Rook?
Yeah, Bellara?
Thanks for, well, being there when I needed you. That moment, it meant a lot.
It meant a lot to me too, Bellara.
Okay. Let's go save the world. Arlithan Forest is nothing but chaos. The Veil is in shreds. Demons everywhere. Reality's falling apart.
That bad?
Yeah, that bad. It'd be even worse if we hadn't stopped Inaris, but it's bad enough. We need to take down Elgernon and Solus, or else Arlithan's just the prelude to what's coming our way. Whatever Elgernon's doing, the lighthouse feels it.
How do you mean?
I don't know. It's hard to explain, but there's just a sense of sadness. Can a building be sad? If it can, this one is. It's also scared. Can't forget that. I'm surprised that fake dagger is as close to the original as it is.
Why's that?
The enchantments, they weren't all that powerful, but they were incredibly complex. Whatever else you say about Solus, he's skilled and subtle.
Sometimes he's
Makes him
subtle.
all the more dangerous. Ready to go whenever you are, Rook.
All right,
Let's finish this fight.
That's that then. Here's the thing. I actually just came up with a thought. So I think if we were to get another Dragon Age, it needs to return to being very dark gothic horror. And what's more dark gothic horror than a vampire? And I feel like some kind of world-ending like death curse or something like that from some kind of vampire, some Dragon Age version of vampire would be freaking rad. And ever since seeing Elgernon and how he's kind of shaped, I've always been looking forward to some kind of vampire in Dragon Age, and we just don't really get it. And I feel like man, you could do some really cool stuff with blood magic and like that. Oh, it'd be so cool. That should be the one of the main villains in the next Dragon Age game. Yeah, anyways, it would just be really hard to get another game, and you could do like a legendary edition type thing where you do Origins 2 and Inquisition and pack them in together, update the graphics in Origins and 2. And you know what, as much as we say that it's a miracle that this game came out, it's a miracle that Dragon Age 2 is not as bad as it could have been, because it took them like 2 years, like it might have even been less than 2 years since the release of Origins to the release of Dragon Age 2 to get that game out. It was Origins released, I think it was in 2009. It might have been 2009 or 10. I think it was at the end of 2009. Like maybe November or something like that for the holiday season. Or maybe it was flipped. Maybe Dragon Age 2 came out then. But then 2 came out like in 2011, like in spring. And that is so fast of a turnover. It's no wonder that they reused a lot of the same locations, but that's how they got that game out as quickly as they did. And you say what you want about Dragon Age 2 being not the greatest Dragon Age game, but at least they pulled something together that felt a little more cohesive than this. Yeah, game design was also different back then too, so there's a lot of reasons for that. Go read that article. Like I said, the final thing we need to do is, we have had all of our final conversations. Final thing we need to do is gather the team, and then we're going to go finish the game in the next episode.